Hello, hello. Hello,
Hi.
Cherrie.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, a little bit excited, a little bit nervous, but all in all, doing pretty well.
Aren't we all? Well, welcome to my special 500 sub episode. Thank you for joining me.
Yay. Congratulations, by the way. I was so excited when you told me.
Yes, I was excited too. I was absolutely thrilled to bits. Thrilled to bits. And I'm just going to do a bit of a roll call just to see who's here. I'll take my glasses off for this. Now I've got my teeth in, I'm spitting everywhere. Everybody knows I've got false teeth. Fluff and Stuff are here. Thank you for coming. Molly, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We've got Nocturnal Nation. Hello. Neil, Mark and Annette, M&A's Mystery Tours. Hello and welcome. Thank you for celebrating with me. Pammy, hello Pammy. How are you doing? I hope you're well. The chairman's here. Well, you made it when the chairman comes. And we've got David. Hello, David. How are you today? I hope you're well. And scrolling down the list, Ghostman Deek. Hello, Ghostman Deek. I hope you're getting better soon. You told me you were sick. I'm very sorry to hear that, and I hope things work out for you well soon. Now we also have Nikki D Official. Hello, Nikki D. How are you? Welcome and thank you for joining us. And we have got Mrs. VSNC09, an amazing channel. If you like the royal family, go visit Mrs. V. Absolutely amazing. And her Twisted Tuesdays. So, I have got my wonderful friend Cherrie with me. I'm so excited to have her here with me celebrating my 500th. I've got a coffee and I have a glass of bubbly to celebrate this auspicious occasion. Cherrie's got a coffee. Show me a coffee cup.
Socially selective introvert.
Okay, so would you like to tell my subscribers and my friends and everyone a little bit about yourself?
Well, first of all, hi, David. Love you both too. Thank you very much. So some of you may know me already. Most of you probably don't. I'm Cherrie. I used to work with Heather. I'm pretty involved with our local advocacy groups. So I used to work as a sex worker peer, engaging with our sex work community. I also am involved with SARA, which is the South Australian Rainbow Advocacy Alliance, and I'm on the board for that. And we do a lot of lobbying and advocacy for the LGBTQI plus community within our state. So I'm in conversations with our lawmakers and policies and all that exciting dry stuff. But it's such a great organisation. One of our key things that I'm incredibly proud about is last year we got the gay panic defence removed from law. So it meant that you can no longer claim in cases where murder has occurred that the murder happened because you were afraid that the person was coming onto you and they were gay, and that would be downgraded from murder to manslaughter, which was surprisingly still in practice up until last year. So that's a huge thing I'm really passionate about and that we no longer have in our state. I'm also a facilitator and peer for Trans Masc SA as a AFAB non-binary person. And a little bit of an exciting tidbit for anybody who's interested is I'm starting testosterone next month. So that's a little bit of excitement for me and can't wait to do that. I am also part of the South Australian Decriminalisation Action Committee, so SIDAC, which is advocating for the health rights and well-beings of South Australian sex workers and the push for decriminalisation so that people can continue to work safely and without fear of criminalisation and discrimination. That's a lot of hoo-ha about who I am, but I also come from an arts background. And as a neurodiverse person, I tend to waffle on a bit too much about things and get a little sidetracked and, my special interests. So that's probably enough from me for now. And back to
That's okay, sidetrack enough. Is there anything you can't do, my dear?
I can't clean my own house. It's funny. I'm a disability support worker as well, but I have disabilities myself. So I have ADHD, dyslexia, and I live with chronic pain. And I'm in the process of being referred for an autism evaluation. And it's funny because I can't do these things for myself, yet I can go into somebody else's house and just really knuckle down and do everything they need. No questions asked, no problem. You need dishes done, there's an hour's worth of dishes, not a problem. You need floors scrubbed, yeah, perfect. You want to do 6 trips out to different shops today, excellent, we can do that. I've got to call the lawyers for you and deal with housing authorities, not a problem. Think I can do it for myself? No.
That's usually the way, isn't it? Usually the way. I just want to, the paranormal side have just called in. The paranormal side has recently celebrated their 1,000 subscriber mark. So I've known Paranormal Side almost as long as I've been on YouTube, and they've been a fantastic support, amazing channel. So go and check them out when you can, preferably after this live, because it's all about me. Only teasing, yes. And I just thought it was great that we're both celebrating our milestones today.
Congratulations.
Times. We've got Our Paranormal World have arrived. Thank you for coming and joining us. And my wonderful Wernie is here. Heather, we do need it. Yes, I do. Yes, just borrow some from work. It's a thing full of men, so I don't think they do dishes anyway. They wouldn't know what dishwashing liquid was. Can I say that? I don't think I should be saying that on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to Werner's channel as well. He is one of my partners there. He is my partner in crime, as well as Mark and Annette. They've been there since day one. M&A's Mystery Tours have been there since day one, and we've spent a number of years travelling around together, having some fun, exploring places, ghost hunting, and general shenanigans. Oh yeah, Nightbot's working, so you're going to see Werner's link drop every 15 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I can't remember how I set it. Fairy Dragon is here. And Fairy Dragon is also one of my original support people. You've been there almost from the word go. Thanks to Jackie of Ghostly Findings Paranormal arrives. I'll give her a shout out as well. You all came over to me from her channel, which was fantastic. Black Collar Project, hello. Thank you for coming. Black Collar Project I've known for a while, but amazing supporter, and it's good that you're here. True Crime with Cassie and Molly, also known as Oracles and Beyond, are here with us, and I've got them interviewed in a couple of weeks' time. So they'll be coming on my channel. They are a fairly new channel. They're amazing. Go and check them out. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Got Our Paranormal World. I've known Our Paranormal World for a long time too as well. Mock, that's it. I couldn't quite remember your name. All family, all amazing creators. Go and support each other. Check each other out. And of course, I've got Nocturnal Nation. I have known Nocturnal Nation for a long time as well. And here's all that fluff and stuff. Just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Wicked sense of humour. She's our neighbour from Queensland. She goes fishing in the Whit Sundays.
Oh, how horrible.
I know, isn't it? Isn't it a terrible life? Isn't it an absolutely terrible life? I don't know. I don't know how you do it. All those weekends fishing out in the Whit Sundays. I personally don't. Yeah. Anyway. So, thank you all for coming. Cherrie and I first met. I'll give them the G-rated version at a party. This is YouTube. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. It was an adult party, but not like as adult as you would think it would be. But yeah, and a couple of years later, Cherrie became my line manager at my work, the project coordinator. We don't work there anymore, so I won't even mention that. But Cherrie was actually one of my first supporters in a huge way. And I knew Cherrie, and I knew that they would give me honesty. I think it's the neurodivergence that like forces this honesty out.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first conversation we had about the very first video?
You were so excited. You're like, can you please watch something for me? And I want some feedback. I'm like, yeah, sure.
And I got it, didn't I?
You did. I think I asked. I think I checked, how honest do you want me to be?
And what did I say? I said very.
Yeah.
It was my first video. And I mean, I work with, straightforwardness. Straightforwardness works with me. So I asked them to be honest.
Yep.
And you watched it.
I did. It was your very first video on your collection of video photos and short clips from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting.
Do you remember the first question you asked me? The very first question that came into mind.
What are you trying to achieve?
Yes. And I turned around and I wasn't really sure. It was just a video. And I said, well, nothing.
You certainly achieved that.
That's exactly the response I got. Thank you, Get Spooky Society. They've just rocked up. Thank you, Stephanie. Long-time friend as well and great, massive supporter. That's exactly what you achieved, was nothing. Well, I didn't know. I wasn't filming to be put on YouTube at the time, and it was just for my own personal, memories. And I thought, well, why not put this as my first YouTube video? And I just edited, and I thought I did a really good job, and I was pleased. And then I came back with that. But it was good because Cherrie actually gave me some really, really good feedback and ways to improve on the video that I made. And I took your advice on board, didn't I?
Yeah, you were always really good at that. I know I can come across as quite critical at times, but I always try to follow that up with some construction and feedback, like stuff that people can actually take away and use. Mm-hmm. And I could see, one thing I feel like I'm very good at is seeing the potential and the path that somebody's trying to go down. And that's where I try to steer. It's one thing to be like, well, I can see what this can be, and this is what I would do, but it's not my video. So it's like, okay, I can see where you're trying to go, And these are the things I would possibly do to achieve that path and help steer you down the way that you're wanting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's exactly what you did. I'm just going to add a few people as moderators so they can share their links with each other. Just give me a moment. And I think everyone pretty much, Fairy Dragon and Black Collar Project. I don't know if Mrs. V is still here.
Thanks, David.
Mrs. V. Nocturnal Nation is now a mod. Black Collar Project, Fairy Dragon. Ghostman Deek is now a mod. Add moderator. I hope I don't. Molly Chris. I don't know if Molly Christine's actually got a channel, but you can be a moderator as well, just for the fun of it. Ghostly. Oh, Ghostly Whispers Paranormal. Hello. I've missed you. I've added you as a moderator. You can share your link. And I think that's everyone caught up. Oh, Pellets, Pouts and Perfumes is a moderator. You can share your link. And there is Mrs. V. Sorry, Pellets, Pouts and Perfuming. I forgot to say hello to you when I first started. My apologise. Cool. And Jessica Marie is there. Did I put Jessica Marie as a mod? I've got to go back and add moderator. Yeah, all good. So everybody should be moderators. Go and share your links and check each other out. Yeah, so that was good. I took the advice on board. I changed and edited and did what I needed to do, and I came back with version 2.
Mm.
Do you remember what version 2 was like?
Much better. And I'm pretty sure I said that.
Yeah.
I think one of the notes that I had was it was too long. And it was too quiet. So you had music in the background, but there was nothing narrating. So there wasn't the engagement there. There wasn't the reason to keep watching.
Mm-hmm.
And you put in some narration, and you mixed up videos with slideshows of photos rather than having it just all one and then the other. And that was a huge improvement, massive improvement.
Mm-hmm. And I remember you saying that it was still the same length of time, but it didn't feel like, because it ran for 23 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And it still ran for 23 minutes, but you said it didn't feel like it was 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And that feedback is something that I took on board throughout my past 2 years, is to try. It doesn't always work. You can't always do it. Is to try and tell a story, try and give people a reason to be there. And that's not always possible. But,
No.
you know, you do it to the best of your ability. Hello, Miss Southern Belle. Welcome and thank you for popping in. Another long-time friend and amazing supporter. Isn't that wonderful? So I think everyone needs a Cherrie in their lives. But, you know, you can't have mine. No, you can borrow mine if you like. But, you know, everyone needs, and that's what I'm grateful for, because ever since then I've been like, we spend our lunch hours, and you know, you'd stay back an extra 15 or 20 minutes to watch my videos and give me the feedback. And that was really good. And that was great while it lasted. But eventually you left.
Yep.
And we didn't have a way of file sharing. And I guess in a way that was good, because there was going to have to come a time where I just have to make my own judgments about things. But it was everything. It was including my thumbnails as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember giving you feedback on like things like the text is great, but the color is making it blur. For some reason, you kept picking magenta, and magenta is one of the worst colors on a screen.
It's
Magenta and lime green.
one of my favourite colours. So I got rid of that. Yeah, so I had to stop using magenta. And now what I do now, I've got Canva, and Canva is amazing because it can choose your colours for you literally. I go into the color palette and I decide what they show you what the colors are used in the picture, and you can actually use those colors for the background or for the wording and match them up. Sometimes it works. Most of the times it works. Sometimes I choose a different color, but usually I go by their guide.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And that's another thing that's helped me a lot was Cherrie's feedback on my thumbnail images as well. And I remember, like, your pieces of advice still stick with me. You don't have a what would you call it? You don't have a busy text on a busy photo, and I've kept to that. I've kept if I've got a busy photo, I keep the plain text. If the photo's a bit boring, then I busy up the text to make that look a little bit different. Yeah, so that's been good, and that's helped me a lot. And I think if I was to challenge myself today, I would probably revisit that video that I made 2 years ago and see if I can improve it even more.
I reckon that would be a really good project to do.
Yes. I might have to go back to Las Vegas though. Actually get some footage with YouTube in mind, but no. I'll see what I can do. I might make that a project. See if I can make that first video better.
Yeah.
See how much I've improved, if at all. I hope I have.
No, you have. You absolutely have. Like, I watch your videos now, and I can see the difference. I can see that you've got in mind the audience and how they will read and engage with the video. But the difference there is your very first video, you didn't have that intent in mind.
No. I didn't know what I was trying to achieve, actually. And when I said nothing, I mean, I guess it was true. Nothing. So I did achieve my goal, really.
Yeah.
But I didn't achieve anything for what I wanted from the video in terms of YouTube and engagement. Hello, the Cornish Conjuring. How are you? Are you monetized? Are you, yes, you are. You're modded. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you here. And Eccentrically Mindful Para Investigations, welcome and thank you for coming. What's time? Does anybody have any questions for either Cherrie or myself? We were going to do a fundraiser for Cherrie's charity, but we ran out of time. The 500 came up very quickly. I was sitting on 486 for like 4 weeks. Then I got up to 492. Then went down to 484. And then I went back up to 492 again, I think. And I thought, oh, it's going to go down again. I've got a month before anything's going to happen. Then all of a sudden I was up to 515. I'm like, really? Wow, this is fantastic. So that was exciting. So I didn't have enough time to organize anything overly spectacular. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What's this peanut butter and pickle sandwich challenge thing?
No worries. Peanut butter and pickles. Hang on. Has a question. I've just started your question. Where's the peanut butter and pickles? Oh, yes. Miss Southern Belle made a peanut butter and pickle sandwiches. And I actually said I can't imagine that they would taste any good, but apparently they were delicious.
Well, pickles pickles are just sort of like a tangy jam, a savoury tangy
I
jam.
think, was it pickle? No, it was like sliced dill pickle. Was it?
Oh, okay.
Was it dill pickle? I can't remember.
It's not like a pickle relish.
Was it a relish or a... I can't remember. Uh-huh. I see. Okay. Now
That challenge is shit.
all that fluff and stuff has a question. Where is your community tab, Heather? It should be there. It's there. It's on the front page. It says home, videos, playlists, community, channels, and about. Thanks for coming. Oh, sorry. Thanks for coming, Neil. I'm sort of excited about talking to you and trying to get the... You think I'd be used to monitoring the chat by now, wouldn't you? Hello, Forget Me Not. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Us Aussies call them gherkins, yes. And it has to be bread and butter pickle, which is kind of... Oh, yes, it was the pickles. I thought so. Like, you know, the pickle, like the actual dill pickle we get. But that was bread and butter, the sweet bread and butter pickles. I don't like the sweet bread and butter pickles. I only like the dill pickle. Thank you very much. I'm excited to have you all here. I really, really am. And I just went back on my past lives because Cherrie was supposed to be on my 300th sub live, but that didn't happen because someone slept in.
Oops.
And it wasn't me. And I look back, I had a 200 sub and a 300 sub. The 300 sub was 4 months ago. The 200 sub was 8 months ago. There's a pattern. In 2 years' time, I might get to my 1,000.
Well, I reckon 1,000 would be a good opportunity to redo that first video.
Yes, actually, that might be. And I might do a giveaway as well. I don't know what yet. Cherrie, you can answer that. Question is up on the screen there. Do you have a YouTube?
No, I don't. I have. It is something I've thought about, but I don't know what I would do. The problem is I have too many ideas, and I'm too scattered a lot. I think that's the ADHD in me coming out. So it would be super eclectic and just I really unfocused. I'd have no idea what sort of channel it would be, whether I just sit there talking about stuff or doing something. Do I do up videos? I've also thought about doing like Twitch streams, but whether like I do that while I'm crafting or doing my art, I don't know. But it's something I've thought about. But maybe if anyone's got some suggestions, I'd be open to hearing ideas.
Absolutely. There are so many crochet channels on.
Yeah.
And you do patchwork quilting, don't you?
Yep. So I do quilting, crochet, amigurumi crochet. So for anyone who's not sure what that is, that's soft toys. Here's an example. This lovely little, hang on, there it is. Little goat that I made, and he's got this cute little tail. It's super fluffy.
Wow, that's so cute.
I do cross stitch, I draw, I sculpt when I have the space. So yeah, it's not like I have attention deficit or anything.
Just lots and lots of projects.
Yeah. One of my other hobbies at the moment is indoor plants. As you may see here, I've got this beautiful big Boston fern hanging up behind me and all the lovely little plants going. So my house is a bit of a live-in terrarium at the moment. I've got...
So I remember the office was not so much an office as it was a freaking plant shop.
Yeah. I
couldn't
rescue
think of
plants.
Oh,
I adopt them from the plant shop.
oh dear.
And I've gotten into terrariums and aquariums as well, because it sort of crosses over the plant side of the hobby with the animal keeping as well. So I've got 2 terrariums set up with frogs in it. I've got another one that I'm in the process of setting up that has barking geckos, which are absolutely adorable. And I've got 3 fish tanks that I've set up. And in them I keep things like shrimp and nanofish. So, yeah, it's not like I'm short of things to do. But
Yes, busy.
I do spend a lot of time on YouTube watching these sorts of channels. And I'm like, maybe I could do that. But then I'm not focused enough on the one thing.
Uh-huh. Or you could just have like separate channels for each one. Could you imagine?
No, I can't imagine, but no.
Oh dear, that's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yes, and yeah, I don't know where she finds the time to they find the time to even be on my live stream, or work, or sleep, or eat, or do you breathe?
I'm not sure about that one. I do have to sleep with a CPAP machine, so there are times where I don't breathe.
Right. But it's not like you need headphones or something with a tape recorder going, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Well, sometimes that might be a good idea.
Oh dear, I think so too. Yeah, so as you can see rolling on the screen for my new connections and my old connections, if you would like to be part of my Tits Out Tuesday podcast. Now, I'm tentatively calling it a podcast because I've done a few of them before. And I'm actually thinking of turning them into MP3s or just like voices. For those who don't know what an MP3 is, and uploading it to a podcasting platform so that will go out to iTunes and all that other stuff, because not everyone can watch YouTube, but you can have a podcast going wherever you are, whether you're lying down or running along the beach or at the gym or even at work, and you want to listen. Much easier to do that. And you can still share the links and stuff within that podcast, within the description. If anybody would like to join me on a podcast, please feel free to get in touch. It's not always easy touching base with people because, you ask people and you're scared of people saying no. It's like real rejection. And so you sometimes think, well, maybe they won't, maybe they will, I don't know. But generally I'll approach people, but sometimes a little bit difficult and time gets away from me, but feel free to approach me. I'd love to have you all on and talk to you about your channels, especially those that are ghost hunters and urban explorers. So that's possibly where I'm looking at heading my channel towards, having that dual role, both the visual and the audio as well. I'm sure that we can edit the audio and make it a really exciting podcast for people on the go.
Yeah, I quite like listening to podcasts while I'm driving. Sometimes the radio is just a bit too average.
Yes. Oh, the radio is quite boring, actually, sometimes. There's a particular radio station I haven't been very happy with lately. Forget we're not paranormal. Have I not made you a mod? No. I will do that now. I feel like Oprah Winfrey. Winfrey. And you can be a mod, and you get a mod, and you get a spanner, and you can have a spanner. Everyone gets a spanner. Everyone's a spanner.
Yeah.
That's what my brother used to call me as an insult, spannerhead. He was nasty sometimes. Editing does take a lot of time and also depends on what program you use. I use Final Cut Pro. It took me ages to get used to that. I started off with Movavi, a thing called Movavi, and it didn't even rate anywhere because I Google search what's Movavi like as an editing program or something like that, and nothing came up. It was just the lowest of the low. It was good for me because it provided me what I needed, and that's what I edited my first video on. Then Werner decided he wanted Final Cut Pro 10. Oh, so we went halves to buy it. Werner doesn't use it. I use it a lot actually, but he uses Filmora. Um, and I've used Filmora from time to time. I find Filmora is okay. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to share your links with everyone before you go. I hope you're feeling better soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing your next Twister Tuesday. And what was I saying? Yeah, I find that Filmora, you can have a lot more fun with Filmora, whereas Final Cut Pro is more designed for that professional finish. You can't quite have as much fun with it. They don't have the bouncing emojis and silly faces that you can pop up on screen.
I think all that fluff and stuff had a question at one point.
Oh, sorry. Could you call your YouTube channel a Little Miss So-and-so? Oh.
Possibly.
Yeah, Little Miss So-and-so.
A bit funny about the miss.
Oh, yes, of course.
But I don't hate it. I do use the miss sometimes because I am also Ms. Adelaide Leather, so that uses the miss title. And being an honorific, it's less of an issue than a gender identity, just because I don't identify as female, so I tend to stay away from like the female Ms., Miss, Mrs., lady, woman, and all that. But I don't hate the Miss so and so. So it's definitely a possibility.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, I got distracted by this comment. I was listening, but I'm also reading at the same time. It's very difficult. I haven't caught the hang of it yet. The laydown on one time on your editing would be good and interesting. Sure. If you're sort of thinking how I edit, maybe, I guess that would be fine. I'm thinking I could do that. Hello, Yankee Kylie. Did I get that right? No, Yankee Kyle. How are you? Thank you. Welcome. And thank you for joining us. Let's make you... Or are you already one? No, you're not. Oh, there we go. You're a moderator now. Hello, Dee. How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you very much. Now, what is it? Oh, it's 11:40. 12:40. So I've got 20 more minutes.
Fluff and stuff. I reckon a possibility is also not so typical. So not spelt as in to knot your yarn. So
Okay.
as in sewing, and typical because I'm not neurotypical.
Oh, that's Nightbot. Hey, that's a good idea. Cannot sue typical. And we've got Jane. Oh, good. So many people. Oh, this is amazing. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside that everyone's popped in to say good day and congratulate me on 500. Any other questions for either myself or Cherrie? I am doing very well tonight, or today, I should say. It's today here in Australia. It's lunchtime. Please listen to Nightbot. Thanks for the thumbs up. And then what else can I talk about? I'm not too sure. I've never known myself to be lost for words, to be perfectly honest.
Well, occasionally you are around me.
Well, sometimes only because you're such a star.
Flattery gets you everywhere.
Absolutely. I know how to press your buttons, my dear.
Well, let's bring it back to the first time we met at that party.
Oh, hang on.
I
Just
was
remember
actually
the family show.
Yeah, I was performing. So at that stage, I was doing burlesque. And I'd done this routine, and I won't go into too much detail again, being YouTube. You know, we all know that burlesque is quite provocative in a lot of ways. And I did it for an industry event, and it was an 18s plus. And yeah, that was the first time Heather met me. So it was basically me stripped back to the bare Cherrie. And I think that was kind of like how the relationship between us has sort of gone. Like, I held nothing back then, and our whole friendship and working together, I never did hold anything back.
No, it's been full on, just el natural, all this time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Um, you know, it's been good. It's been very good. And every now and then I will go to Cherrie with, a couple of videos and ideas and stuff that I like to bounce off them. And they've been a wonderful support throughout this whole journey, and I've been very, very privileged to have that support, along with other people's support, such as Werner, of course, Mark and M&A Mystery Tours, they've been there. David and Chris, David and, Chris have been there as well for a little while. And of course, I've got some new friends that I'm really looking forward to getting to know a lot more. And
I would like to hear more about this kebab in the handbag by Jane the Cornish Conjuring.
Hang on. I missed that. Where's the kebab in the handbag? Hang on. I should put a link up and get someone to pop in and say hello if they want to. I thought about doing that afterwards. Thank you. Oh, fabulous. That would be amazing.
I love podcasts.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. And hopefully it translates well.
I've been in a couple already as a guest. One was, are you okay with me talking about other podcasts?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's fine. Yes.
I was on Politics with a Pinup, which is a South Australian podcast run by a local sex worker who is a pinup as well. And I was on their second episode, and we spoke about politics here in Australia and what it's like to be a sex worker. And the main topic we were covering on that one was being neurodiverse, but also the what was it? It was around the time of the COVID vaccinations, and we were speaking about the vaccination hesitancy. So that was quite an interesting conversation. And being that there's a lot of fear about vaccines and autism and neurodiversity and how I felt about that. And another one I've been on is one through Thorn Harbour Health, speaking about the leather community and what it's like to be in Adelaide as a leather person and a leather person who isn't a gay male, and the future that our community is taking.
Fantastic. I'm just looking for a comment that I'm trying to start. I can't find it now. I'm going to have to go through the chat. There it is. Yeah, that was actually quite an interesting podcast. I really enjoyed that. And you had another podcast for your other. Are we allowed to talk about your other podcast? That was as Ms. Leather.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing was, I mean, it was a great podcast, but the one thing that stuck in my mind, and I've sort of noted that, and I thought I'm just going to use that one day, is that if you've never, what would be your advice to someone who would like to, I think the words were, dip your toes in the fetish world or the leather scene or something like that. And I thought dip your toes was just hilarious.
Yeah. It was the term used was dip your toes into it. And look, it can be quite intimidating because people think like the fetish community and the leather community, and it's all about sex and it's all perversion and it's a bit scary and it's these people who like to do scary things, but it's not. We're all normal people. We've got a few interesting proclivities, but nothing too scary. And the easiest way to do it is to just come along to events. I know here in Australia, I'm not so sure about other countries. There tends to be social events and munches that people can attend if you're curious, which aren't like parties or anything. You don't have to worry about stuff happening, but it's just like-minded people going out and catching up for dinner or a drink, just so you get to know people before you venture into something that might be a little bit more intimidating.
Yes. The Funko Brothers, I've just made you a moderator as well. And I think everyone who needs to be a moderator is a moderator, so you can just share your links amongst everyone. Yes, and that was actually quite a good podcast. And I recommend watch that. I might drop those links in the description for people who come back and rewatch the replay or watch the replay if they want to know more. I'm sure I can find it.
And I'm sure I can share my Instagram link too if anyone want to go and check out my Ms. Leather stuff and my Lenore Nevermore page as well, which is sort of my craft side of things as opposed to the kinky side of things.
So you got either the kink or the craft.
Yeah.
Or both.
Well, see, one of the things I do is I'm a rigger. So it's rope bondage or shibari. And it's not that different to crochet, surprisingly. Like you're basically just, because crochet is to knot and shibari is translated as to tie. So you're literally just crocheting around a person. So it's not that different. It's just one's a bit more family friendly.
Absolutely. Oh dear, oh dear. This is hilarious. Your channel 3 after. Oh, thank you. From Irma. all from you're from Irma. All that fun. Still have to be double vaxxed to go to the hospital, or like me, I work for Education Queensland and still have to be double jabbed to work for them. Yeah, everyone has to be double jabbed these days, it looks like.
Or the current South Australian health guidelines, I have to, because I work in disability support and with vulnerable community, we actually have to have our triple vax.
Oh, that's your name, Irma. Yes, yes. Yes, I've been triple vaxxed as well, just in case I needed to be. Okay, now who said they were going to bed? It was way past their bedtime. Somebody said good night. Oh, here we go. Thank you for coming and celebrating my 500 with me, etc. Do you have a name? I probably should know it. But that's great. I appreciate you being there. Okay, yeah, we want to. I know Australia's trying to get. I think is it live with COVID if we can.
Yeah.
Just treat it like a flu. I think that's the only way to go these days. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
get to a COVID normal.
Yes. Don't have Instagram. Oh, that's okay. Cool. Okay, what is the time? It is 12:53. The time has gone very, very, very quickly.
Well, I will send you links. For those that don't have Instagram, I'll also send my Ms. Leather Facebook page. And on that too, it will be a link to the charity that I'm fundraising for. As a title holder, we're encouraged to support a charity. And I've chosen Access to Arts. And that is an arts-based group that make it accessible for people who live with disabilities to, one, be able to create their art and exhibit and work and share it, and those also to be able to attend art events and theatre and galleries. So it's really embracive of the disability community. And that's something I'm really passionate about. Like, it's an area that I have lived experience and a lot of my family as well. And growing up with an arts background, arts is hugely important to me. And I think that's why I was able to give such good feedback to you, Heather, is because of that environment I grew up with constructive, creative feedback and thinking. So I feel everybody should have access to that. So if anyone feels like supporting that, there will be a link on my Facebook page.
Awesome. And I will put a link on again in the so many links to put in the description. I hope I've got enough room for it all. Yes. So thank you very much, Cherrie, for joining me on the podcast. It's been very enlightening. It's been enlightening for others. And Tuesday we have tarot readings with Moira. We're getting more and more people on. We're not extending the time that we do, but we're just making things a lot tighter so that we can get more people in the time frame that we've allocated, which is an hour and a half. So it's pretty much first in, best dressed. At this stage, we can fit people in, everyone in, but the more popular it becomes, the less likely we're going to be able to do that. So we'll try and make that as tight as possible. On Saturday, I have the final episode of the COLAG investigation, which is coming out. Of course, I've got Urbex Eats with Gloria's platter, and she's going to teach me how to make a special kind of what we call sausage rolls. But this has got a bit of a twist to it, so I'm looking forward to making this. I've never made them before. I've only ever made sausage rolls once. Now, that will actually be Easter Sunday, I do believe. I'm seeing my family on the Friday, so I'm not doing anything. So if you aren't spending time with your family, come and spend time with me and eat. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, I've got other podcasts coming with, oh, I can't remember on the top of my head, but I've got a few more podcasts. I will get back to you, the Cornish Conjuring, about having you on my live stream as well. Thank you, everyone, so much for popping in, saying hello. For those who came and went, for those who came and stayed, it's been amazing. Thank you for an amazing 500 sub 2 years. And I'm looking forward to when I might be able to do this again for my 600th sub. And ultimately, I want to get to the 1,000 subscriber mark as well.
Is that when you get the plaque? The YouTube plaque?
Sorry? Say that again.
1,000 subscribers. Is that when you get a YouTube plaque?
I don't know. Do we get an actual plaque? I don't think we do. Heather, you need to share the Ouija sesh from Cornish Conjuring. You sang the same song as me. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I remember. I'll star that and I will try to remember. If I don't, hit me up, remind me again, because these lives actually take a lot out of me. I get so tired after them. You wouldn't believe this, but I'm actually an extroverted introvert.
Again, socially selective introvert.
And doing lives like this, while I'm very good at it, I guess, it actually takes a lot of my energy, a lot of my mental and physical energy to do that. I'm the same way with giving speeches. People always want me to give speeches. I hate doing it. Doesn't matter if it's a room full of 20 people or a room full of 700 people I've had to address from time to time. I hate it, but I'm good at it. And people always ask me to give speeches and stuff. And that takes a lot of my energy and mental energy as well. And yeah, I don't know why I'm good at it, because I hate it. I don't know why I do it. But sometimes, things have to be said and it's up to you to say them. So yes. Anyway, thank you again. Love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, my subscribers, my fans, and my friends, new and I don't want to say old, new and long term. And thank you, Cherrie.
Thank you so much.
See you all in the next live or video. Okay,
thanks everybody for having me.
Thank you.